Okay, back to you, Committee Chair Stellers.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We are still reviewing the PrEP protocol, correct?
Yes, and I believe Board Council wanted to say.
Yeah, so I was just looking at the statute talks specifically on the HIV PEP and PrEP talks specifically about ordering HIV tests, and then we have rules about ordering labs when pursuant to determining a drug or by a protocol. So it's that 855-115-0310. 1C, providing patient care services pursuant to and allowed by the terms of a protocol. I'm sorry, I think I forgot to read the first part of that. So pharmacists may only order and receive laboratory tests when providing patient care services pursuant to and as allowed by the terms of a protocol. So we're good. I just was like, the statute was saying one thing and the rules are saying another. So I just wanted to make sure we were good, and we're good.
That is very comforting for all of us that have been doing that for
sorry, I didn't mean to
very long time.
But then when you're just looking at a statute by itself and you're not looking at the whole thing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, wait. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to give you a heart attack. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Okay, so that has been settled. So keeping the lipid panel and all the labs on the PEP and PrEP protocols are good to go. Did we have a section on the PrEP that we left off at? I realize it's just happened, but for some reason it's escaping me.
Me, Tom Myers, are you there? Sorry, I can't see the screen. Hold on.
Or Sarah Rask, or Sharon Rask, I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm here.
Tom, all right, can you hear us too? And can you unmute? Just make sure that your microphone's working. Tom, can you confirm?
Oh, hello. Hello. I'm sorry.
Yes.
What's going on?
Okay. No, you're there. Okay. I will share my screen again. Thank you. Chair Stellers, what was the question again for Tom?
Oh, no, I just was not quite sure exactly where we left off. So
I think we had gotten to Appendix C.
Okay.
Yeah. And we had talked about algorithm C and D going into Appendix C. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, the table.
Yep, we saw that. Maybe we did get through this. Yeah, this is the end of the document. So I believe you reviewed everything.
Perfect.
Excellent. Does any committee members, do any of you have any questions?
This is Committee Member Gibler. I still don't find any indication that pharmacists cannot prescribe and administer cabotegravir and the other injectable. So is anyone else find anything?
I looked through the stuff on injections, and I think there's like specifics about injections in general, like certain training that needs to happen to do injections, but that was all more relevant to vaccines, I found.
This committee member Sellers, but I thought that you did find something that said that we are allowed to administer.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
I was just looking at like injections. I was like trying to look if there was a bigger picture issue on like injections in general, but I didn't see anything. So the statute specifically says you can administer.
Yeah, that was my understanding as well. Thank you.
And that all relevant labs that are needed for safe prescribing are also allowed. So that was cleared up. All right. So this is our provider notification form. Back to you, Tom.
This is staff member Melvin. Our staff member Epermoth left a few notes in here, and I'm not sure if you needed to say anything. I left the notes when we noticed it.
From what I can see, it looks appropriate. I think I have a table on our previous page that says the same thing.
Staff member, I think I was just when looking at this, and was wondering if maybe you just got overlooked because you had updated the other page and this page just needed to be updated to reflect that item.
Yeah, no, you're right. That got overlooked. I should have added this. Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to add these two to this. Okay, I will do that then. I'll leave that there. Brienne Efremov, your next question is this one. Lipid panel needs to be added.
Staff member of in regard to, it sounds like the committee is on board adding the lipid panel. So does there need to be a line item for this if it's not already? I'm trying to remember. I don't think I saw it. If you think the results need to go to, this is the provider form, right? So just updating the information from the others to be presented to the provider also.
So Smee Myers, does that make sense? So should we add
Yes.
add lipid panel in this lineup as well? And where would it go inserted? Where does it matter?
I don't think it matters.
All right, leave that there. Staff member Efremov, is that all? And RNA question.
I apologize, I missed the previous conversation. Is it just HIV test? Were you permitting different forms of the HIV test to occur? So you might just want it, does it have to be the HIV RNA test or could there be other tests? I think that was part of what was proposed.
Yes, Smee Myers, go ahead.
Oh, Sharon, you had your hand up.
With the HIV RNA test, that one is required for the cabotegravir. And I did notice one other potential edit that might need to occur, and that is under the provider pearls, where and that would be the third bullet. It's just Truvada and Descovy are both safe in pregnancy, so we would want to add cabotegravir and lenacapavir as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. As far as the RNA test, it's a required baseline test. However, there's language saying that this shouldn't be a barrier for initial prescribing for PrEP. I think that's where that caveat was coming in. But it would be a required test.
Okay, so any proposed amendments there, Tom, or
No, I think that's fine.
leave that alone? Okay. Okay.
I think for the lipid, this is committee member Gibler, I think for the lipid panel that will be added to this list, that is, it's just for that one specific medication, that it doesn't need to be added for all PrEP. It just needs to be ordered for the tenofovir, alphetamide, whatever.
Correct.
Yeah. TAFF. Descovy.
So do we want to have that language in there, like in parentheses or whatnot, for only
Right,
for Descovy? Or?
That's what I'm suggesting, but
Okay.
Well, it's not for all, it's just for those specific. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we will do that work offline. Thank you. It's because these tables are so aggressive, and if I edit this in real time, it will look terrible.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else in the provider pearls or the monitoring portion? Otherwise, that's the end of this one.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
Any questions from the committee members? Okay. And I think we have another document. Is that correct?
I believe so.
This is number 4. Let me close that. I believe there's one more. Yep, prescription template.
So I think we have one for oral and one for injectable now.
Committee member Sellers here, can they just be consolidated into one? I mean, I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other since it's not required, but
I'm not sure why they're separated. I know the protocols are, but
Oh, either way, I thought it would be easier, but if you think it would be better to be together, you can do that too.
Staff member Melvin, so if the drugs, okay, so this has two different types right there, right? And this is, so what you're saying is if I could meld this all into one, based on the amount of content that's on that, it's going to turn into two.
okay,
Okay.
totally fine to leave it.
Okay. All right, that's the end of this one. Back
All
to
right.
you, Chair Sellers.
Any other questions or concerns on this one? And any other questions or concerns on either the PEP or PrEP protocols? Okay, I think we are ready to move toward a vote. So the proposed
Member
motion.
Sellers,
Yes.
these will be revised for both of these.
Excellent, thank you. Is there a motion to move to recommend the HIV post-exposure prophylaxis statewide drug therapy management protocol version 10, 2025 as revised to the Oregon Board of Pharmacy for review?
Committee member Virgin so moves.
Committee
Can I
member
have a second?
Anderson, second.
Great. All right, we will do a roll call vote. Committee member Anderson.
Approve.
Committee member Gibbler.
approve.
Committee member Hammond.
Approve.
Committee member Sellers approves. Committee member Virgin.
Approved.
Committee member Wickenhagen.
Approve.
This motion passes. All right, and moving on. Is there a motion to move to recommend the HIV pre-exposure prophylaxis statewide drug therapy management protocol version 10-2025 as revised to the Oregon Board of Pharmacy for review?
Committee member Gibbler, so moved.
Committee
Second?
member Virgin seconds.
Great. And on to the roll call vote. Committee member Anderson.
Approved.
Committee member Gibbler.
Approve.
Committee member Hammond.
Approve.
Committee member Sellers approves. Committee member Virgin.
Approved.
Committee member Wickenhagen.
Approve.
All right, this motion passes. We will now review and discuss mailing C with Executive Director Runyon.
Executive Director Runyon, mailing C. In mailing C, staff would like to recommend amending the current temporary rules prescribing pursuant to protocol found in OAR 855-115-0345 by adding the proposed revisions or versions of PEP and PrEP and amended versions of the standard vaccination protocols, which would add chikungunya and the revised coronavirus 19 and influenza protocols, which we'll review shortly. We're also recommending amending OAR 855-115-0340, which would add epinephrine to the formulary rule.
Yeah, we're going to strike epinephrine because this did not pass. So there you go.
Yeah, I
So
did not include that.
yeah, Chair Sellers, this motion, when you get to this, will be revised as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, scroll down here, and then you could see epinephrine added to our formulary. Okay. Let's see. Oh, back to you, Chair Sellers.
Okay. So the committee will motion on the rules after the protocols have been presented. We will now review and discuss proposed amendments for board excluded vaccine protocols for coronavirus 19 and influenza with Executive Director Runyon. These are mailings C1 and C2.
Executive Director Runyon. So there are very few amendments, actually, I think one each on these protocols, and of course precipitated out of the West Coast Health Alliance recommendations. The staff noticed in section 1, carryover from the previous coronavirus 19 vaccine protocol, which we had active, I think, earlier in the summer, as late as June. The verbiage said should receive there in bullet point B, because that was part of the CDC ACIP recommendations at the time. So since those recommendations have changed and the verbiage of the West Coast Health Alliance recommendations have changed, where it's essentially optional for example, patients 2 through 65 and not a recommendation, staff recommends changing that to reflect those recommendations or the suggestions from should to may. That's the only change that was suggested here.
Okay.
All right, committee member Sellers here. Does anybody on the committee have any questions?
Sorry, yeah, remember this staff.
Oh.
Sorry, Chair Sellers, back to Executive Director Runyon. We did have some additional changes.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
No, it's Executive Director Runyon. So this really isn't a change so much as it is taking information that was at the bottom of this table, which I think, is this Appendix A? Or which one is
one, Appendix.
No, I
Oh,
did a
okay.
letter. Yeah.
This is B.
Appendix B. Because we thought it could potentially create confusion in terms of the applicability of it. In other words, pharmacists may be prompted to make certain decisions under the directive of the protocol, and then only become aware that something at the bottom of the table or the reference would potentially dictate those decisions in the tree above. So essentially, we took that out of the footer and just added it in each individual vaccine section, whether it's Moderna, Pfizer, Novavax, etc. So we didn't really change any of the content, or the changes aren't substantive. We just moved it so it's universally applicable and more clear.
And I think that was okay. Back to you, Committee Chair Sellers, for discussion.
Excellent. Does anybody have any questions, comments?
Committee member Gibler, why would this have to go back to PFAC? Why couldn't the board just approve that language?
The statute requires you guys to basically opine on all the rules that have to do with vaccines.
This is staff member Melvin. So remember, Committee member Gibler, how COVID, RSV, and influenza are standalone now. They're not in the standard vaccination protocols. They're back out just in rule by themselves. So you all have to amend them or propose amendments to them.
Executive Director, and I think also those amendments, like changing the should to may, did not fall under the umbrella of what would constitute a statutory minor correction. So we couldn't do that without your direction.
Okay. That's helpful. That comment was helpful. I didn't understand otherwise. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Open seat.
Okay.
I'm going to open C2 so we can just present this and then you can motion after that. That sounds
Perfect.
okay.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Director Runyon.
Executive Director Runyon. So I believe we actually only have one change here, and it was to a graphic. We'll scroll down here. It just had to do with the previous year's formula or season's formula, because it spans 2 years of the influenza vaccine. So we just updated this to the 25-26 version. And I think as it was initially copied in the protocol that you all saw during the special meeting, it had the previous season's formulation in there, reference to that, the 24-25. So I believe those are the only changes that we made here. It's the only change. And there is a, that's represented in text as well in the preceding paragraph. So the text itself there in D, 4D, was appropriate because it didn't list the specific formulation, so it wasn't tied to the year, in other words. So just amended that to the updated formula.
Committee member Sellers, do we have to mention the year ever?
Executive Director Runyon, I think that's up to your discretion. We had toyed with the idea of there's two options here, either taking this out altogether in terms of the graphic, or keeping it in and updating the year. But as far as I'm concerned, there isn't, it's not necessary to have it in there. But it'd be up to you.
This is Committee Member Gibler. I think just so we don't run into this again, these little details, maybe can we change the verbiage into like the most current formulation or something to that effect?
Executive Director, and I think we're pondering that this moment.
Committee member Sellers, or just change it to annual influenza vaccine, because there's certainly an acceptable window with which that's allowed to be administered.
I think it's important too for the committee to remember that these three, or the RSV, the influenza, and the COVID, will still have to be reviewed by PHPFAC every year. So every time there is a change in the version of it, it will have to come to PHPFAC before it can go to the board. So this is something that will be reviewed annually too, most likely.
Yeah, we understand that.
Okay.
If you wrote, did the child receive less than 2 doses of the influenza vaccine period or whatever, like, well, before within the, yeah, like
It's like limited.
Within the previous 12 months?
It's within the same season.
Yeah.
That's right there.
It's not a big deal. I mean, if we miss it, I mean, it's just that we're bringing it back, and I think.
right.
Yeah,
But I acknowledge that we're going to see this every year, and we'll get it. It's not important. It's not important change, especially if we highlight the date or something. Well, remember next time.
Will do. Will do.
all right, so leave as is, sounds like.
To you, Chair Sellers, for consideration of motions.
Well, that was it. I love it. Okay. Is there any further discussion that anybody would like to have on either the COVID-19 or influenza protocols? All right. Well, if not, is there a motion to move to recommend the coronavirus 19 protocol version 12, 2025 as revised to the Oregon Board of Pharmacy for review?
Committee Member Gibler, so moved.
And a second?
Committee member Virgin, seconds.
All right, we will move to the roll call vote. Committee Member Anderson,
Approved.
Committee Member Gibbler,
Approve.
Committee Member Hammond,
Approve.
Committee Member Sellers approves, Committee Member Virgin,
Approved.
Committee Member Wickenhagen.
Approved.
All right, this motion passes. On to the next proposed motion. Is there a motion to move to recommend the influenza protocol version 12, 2025 as revised to the Oregon Board of Pharmacy for review?
Committee Member Gibbler, so moved.
Committee
there a
Member
second?
Virgin seconds.
Excellent. Roll call vote. Committee Member Anderson,
Approved.
Committee Member Gibbler,
Approve.
Committee Member Hammond,
Approve.
Committee Member Sellers approves, Committee Member Virgin,
Approved.
Committee Member Wickenhagen.
Approves.
All right, this motion passes. We will now review and discuss adding the chikungunya to both the standard vaccination protocol and assessment and treatment care pathways for adults 18 and over and for persons 7 through 17 years of age and older. These are mailing C3 and C4 with Executive Director Runyon.
Executive Director Runyon, I think you pretty much encapsulated the suggestion here. The ACIP met back in April, I believe, 15th and 16th, and voted on the recommendations for the chikungunya vaccine for individuals 12 and up who are traveling to countries or territories where it's endemic or where there's a high risk for it. And I think due to all the turmoil and changeover of the CDC that we've experienced or noticed the past 6 months or so, they didn't adopt this as policy until 513. But I think it was adopted by the HHS secretary and then included as CDC policy as on 513 rather. So that's just what we're suggesting here, to add it to the universal protocols for 7 through 17 and then 18 and up.
7 through 17, do you need to put it, I think it was like 12. Did you say something about being 12?
It is 12 and up, but I think we have others in there that in the top part of the verb. So Board Counsel Hunt asked if we needed to specify that it was for a particular subset of patients within the 7 through 17 age range. But I think we mentioned something about age appropriate vaccines, and maybe in the prescribing parameters, where it's either that or in the protocol itself.
Okay.
We'll take a look.
This is the 7 through 18.
Pretty sure it's in there.
Your resources, maybe?
No, it's in that.
Oh, okay, give me a second. I'm in the wrong thing.
And I think also keeping in line with just how this workflow is going to go when you incorporate something by reference, they will, for all of the additional parameters, be referred to the ACIP guidelines and will end up at a place that would dictate the indications to include age. Search for age. Search for age.
Oh, sorry, I was letting him read it. I'm gonna scroll down here.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yep. Step 1.
It has 3 results. Oh, it's in the top there. Okay, and now.
Excellent. This is Committee Member Sellers. Does anybody have any questions on either of these protocols or treatment pathways. All right, did I jump the gun again? Did you guys have more information to present, or can I move on to the motion?
Nope, you're ready to go.
Okay. Is there a motion to move to recommend adding chikungunya version 5/13/2025 to the standard vaccination protocols and assessment and treatment care pathways for adults 18 years of age and older, and for persons 7 through 17 years of age, as proposed to the Oregon Board of Pharmacy for review?
Committee Member Wickenhagen, so moved.
And a second?
Committee member Virgin seconds.
Excellent. All right, a roll call vote. Committee Member Anderson.
Approved.
Committee Member Gibler.
Approve.
Committee Member Hammond.
Approved.
Committee Member Sellers approves. Committee Member Virgin.
Approve.
Committee Member Wickenhagen.
Approve.
All right, this motion passes. All right, and then there's a proposed motion regarding a couple of OARs, which we already discussed, correct?
Yes, this is Staff Member Melton. So these were the proposed rules that we showed you with the new versions for PEP and PrEP, and then I have struck epinephrine. Yes.
Perfect. And then the epinephrine was added to the formulary list farther
Yes.
down. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. So, proposed motion. Is there a motion to move to recommend proposed amendments to OAR 855-115-0345 and OAR 855-115-0340 to the Oregon Board of Pharmacy for review?
Committee member Virgin, so moved.
Committee Member Gibler, second.
All right. Roll call vote. Committee Member Anderson.
Approved.
Committee Member Gibler.
Approve.
Committee Member Hammond.
Approve.
Committee Member Sellers approves. Committee Member Virgin.
Approved.
Committee Member Wickenhagen.
Approved.
All right, the motion passes. And Rachel, I'm guessing nobody signed up for public comment?
We did not have anyone sign up today.
Okay. Well, that is it, everyone. Not too bad. Is there a motion to move to adjourn the meeting at 12:44 p.m.?
Committee Member Gibler, so moved.
Is there a second?
Committee member Virgin seconds.
All right, roll call vote. Committee Member Anderson.
Approved.
Committee Member Gibler.
Approve.
Committee Member Hammond.
Approve.
Committee Member Sellers approves. Committee Member Virgin.
Approves.
Committee Member Wickenhagen.
Approves.
All right, this motion passes. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you in January if there isn't a reason to gather sooner. So,
Thanks,
thank you all.
everyone.
Thank you
All
all.
right, thank you.
All right, bye.
Thanks.
Bye.